As always, a big spoiler warning if you still have not read The Eye of the World. This video will be containing a lot of spoilers from chapter 21 to chapter 30. So if you still have not read The Eye of the World, check out my spoiler free video that I've only done on the first 3 chapters, and yeah, let's just get started straight away. So we got started off with Nynaeve, and finally we got to know where she was, because at the end of the last part I was kind of worried about her, because at the end of last part Robert Jordan did not mention what happened to her, so I was kind of worried about Nynaeve in specific, because she was my favorite character leading up to that point. She was with her horse and she was spying on Moiraine and Lan until obviously Moiraine sensed her, which she's an Aes Sedai, you know what I mean? And in that chapter we got to see how much Nynaeve just hates Moiraine, just hates the Aes Sedai in general. Like, she was very firm in what she was going to do. She was only here to get the Fielders back to their place. She only was here to save them. She did not care about going to Tar Valon. In fact, she was scared of Tar Valon because Moiraine was like, you also have the capabilities of touching the One Power. So Moiraine wants both Egwene and Nynaeve to go to Tar Valon to get trained in order to use the One Power, and I think Moiraine wants even Nynaeve to become an Aes Sedai as well, which is a bit crazy because Nynaeve clearly states that her hatred towards the Aes Sedai, like, she literally does not like Moiraine at all. She hates her. However, I think she might have a soft spot for Lan, because every time Lan says something to her, she always blushes for some reason. And also the next chapter about Nynaeve, Moiraine and Lan, some other stuff happens which we'll get to that part later on. Anyway, after all that, all three, Nynaeve, Moiraine and Lan, they set out to the White Bridge where they expect everyone to go if they are alive, which obviously they are because I read the next few chapters, you know what I mean? Perrin eventually meets up with Egwene and they both decide they should go to the White Bridge, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't really matter because something happens later on, you know what I mean? And then they met a very interesting character. I think he might be one of my favorites in these sets of chapters. Yeah, a character called Elias. Yeah, with the names, you know, I might have some problems here and there, but I love it. So Elias is a character that stands out a lot because he wears like coats of animal furs all around him. He's kind of like Thom, where Thom has like those patches of colorful stuff all over his cloak. So he's kind of like that. However, Elias, he is an isolated character that hates people in general. So I kind of relate to Elias because with me, I don't really like being around too many people. So, hey man, that just makes me like him even more, do you know what I mean? But when the wolves come, oh my god, I was so invested in that chapter. Like, I was glued onto my book. I was just, what? Animals in general, they just fascinate me so much, but what Robert Jordan did with the wolves here, because in the whole story, right, wolves were portrayed as very evil animals where humans always try to stay away from them because they always hunt down their stocks and their animals and kill people, and they are just portrayed as very scary animals. And in this chapter through Elias, we get to see that wolves can be completely different if given the circumstances, if you abide by whatever needs to be abided by. I don't know if that makes sense, but allow it. One very cool part about this chapter when Elias was like, here comes my friends, and I was thinking, okay, some other people that might be wearing some animal furs might come, but then a bunch of wolves comes. I was not expecting that, and I was so hyped. I was so hyped, man. Anyway, we also learned that Elias can also communicate with the wolves by not really speaking to them. It's like they're kind of connected as one. They can like read each other's minds and stuff. It's like they are aware of each other. That's like the best way to explain it. And he also said that Perrin can also communicate with the wolves, which absolutely freaked Perrin out, and rightly so. I would have been freaked out as well, because with the Emond's Fields, right, they think of magic or any kind of supernatural things to be considered evil. Like it probably is tainted by the Dark One. That's why Perrin was super freaked out. There are 2 wolves that stood out to me. One's called Dapple, which is the leader of the pack, and the other one's called Burn, which I think will play a big role in the future, because Burn is like it's like a wolf full of hatred. He does not like the humans at all, which I like a lot. I think that is fantastic, because all the other wolves, right, they seem to agree with whatever Elias said, while Bernie's like, what are you guys doing? Like, let's just hunt some Trollocs. Anyway, going away from the wolves, in this chapter, some other good information has been told to us. So we learn about the ages again. This time it's a different color. Elias, in fact, mentioned about the black ager and the red ager. So we know from before that the red ager hunts down men who seeks to control the One Power, because that apparently creates destruction once that happens. And the black ager, I think he said something about them being tainted by the Dark One. So black being like a dark color, they abide by the Dark One, which isn't confirmed, but that's what has been said. So that's interesting. And they also said something about the Emerald Seat, and Elias does not have a very good viewpoint of the Emerald Seat. I think the Emerald Seat might be like a very high kind of ager. I don't know if that is the case, like probably like a high rank of an ager. Anyway, at the end, Elias and the wolves, they all decided that they would go with Egwene and Perrin to Camelin, because I think Elias was like, you know what, since you know about the Trollocs and, you know, the murderers and so on, I think you might need our protection and our guidance. So, and literally the next chapter we start off with Rand in his dream, and he's like in a maze, right? And he's trying to hide away from Ba al-Zaman again. And like at the end, when Rand and Ba al-Zaman eventually come face to face, Ba al-Zaman, he kept mentioning the Eye of the World. Like, what does that mean, the Eye of the World? Like, he said the Eye of the World will not serve him. He said the Eye of the World will consume him, something like that, right? And all of these other stuff about the Eye of the World. And like, I always took some time to think about what it could be, but I cannot come up with any answers, which is annoyingly good. It's actually very good, because if the author can keep me guessing, I am all for it. And I like it, man. And I cannot wait to find out what the Eye of the World is, because the book is literally called the Eye of the World. So I'm assuming at the end we might have some clues, or we might actually find out what the Eye of the World is. But it's important, I know that, because he said the Eye of the World will not serve you. So I'm assuming the Dark One fears that the Eye of the World will serve Rand, think. And another cool thing that actually happened in the end, right? Rand was like in a room full of mirrors all around him. He was trying to hide from Ba al-Zaman, and when Ba al-Zaman came, he seemed confused as well. And when Rand looked at Ba al-Zaman's face, he cannot distinguish between his own face and Ba al-Zaman's face. He literally saw the mirror. There was two faces. Rather, it was actually one, if that makes sense. So it was two people, but their faces were just one. So what does that mean? Does that mean that Ba al-Zaman is like a part of Rand, or is Rand like a part of Ba al-Zaman? Or does that mean, because in some place they did mention that Ba al-Zaman is considered to be the Dark One, but I think he's not, but something like that, right? Don't tell me, because I'd rather find out by myself, yeah? But anyway, so I think that Rand is a part or somehow connected to the Dark One. I don't know how, but I think that's the case, right? Obviously don't tell me how, I would rather find out on my own, but yo, that's crazy. I think if that's the case, I don't know how it's gonna play out. How will it play out? Because Arshina, we'll talk about this one later, because Ba al-Zaman comes in Perrin's dream later onwards, but we'll talk about it later when we get to Perrin's part. Yeah, god damn, this is so good. Anyway, Rand, Matt and Thom, they're still on the ship. I think Rand and Matt, they're like practicing in order to become a Gleeman, just to convince everyone else that they're not dark friends or whatever like that. And in one scene, he was on top of sails, and he literally jumped. He was sliding across the slanted wood paths until he came down. I think he did some flips or something like that. He pretty much did some supernatural stunt that amazed everyone, and Thom was like, what the hell, you could have killed yourself, bro. And Rand, he didn't seem to notice, so he got some unknown supernatural strength out of nowhere. How? There's no explanation, but how? Man, I love how this book just keeps me guessing, because you know what, one thing, right? You guys keep telling me that everything eventually will make sense, and I'm keeping that in my mind. And since I'm keeping that in my mind, right, I'm just more excited, because every time I'm more confused, I'm just more excited, bro, because I know I will find out eventually. So it's actually fun to make predictions because I know everything will tie up, so might as well make some predictions if I'm confused, right? So that's cool. Rand has some supernatural powers, so it's more like some kind of physical power rather than some spiritual power for Rand for now. Anyway, so after that, right, Rand came down to Matt and he saw he was hiding something, right? And it was a dagger. It was like a golden dagger. And Rand was like, did you seriously take one of Mordeth's treasures? Because if you did, you kind of stupid. Obviously, he didn't say stupid, but in my hand, I was like, you kind of stupid, man. And in Matt's defense, he was like, well, Mordeth technically didn't give it to me. I took it, so I should be good, right? Bro, Matt just continuously just... Like, I still love this guy's character, right? But this guy is always... Oh, I don't know what he's doing to me, bro. I'm like, why, Matt? Why? Oh, speaking about the dagger, right? Let's go back to Berlin where Min was like to Rand, I see things. I see with Perrin, I see a wolf, which connected. And with Matt, she was like, I see an eagle and I see a dagger, and I forgot the other one, which connected with the dagger. But what does the eagle mean? Does that mean that Matt can also communicate with eagles or birds or something like that? Maybe, or can Matt communicate with the ravens and the crows? Bro, I hope that's not the case, because what if Matt becomes evil? Bro, hey, but what? That thought had never actually occurred to me. What if one of our crew actually becomes evil along the road? Because that's a big possibility, considering that there's 14 books to read after this. Yo, Matt might... Nah, for now, I refuse to believe that Matt is good. He is good. He will not be evil. I will not accept that. No. Back to Perrin and Egwene's storyline, right? So Perrin has been also having dreams, but Baal-Zamon has not been in the dreams. However, wolves, they have been in his dream even before that this whole thing happened. Back when Winter Night even happened, Perrin always had dreams about wolves. Like, it always just happened, right? So we can see how he was always kind of connected with the wolves. And then they came across a bunch of tinkers which were camped around in like a random place, right? And so one interesting stuff that happened, this guy called Rayan, I'm just gonna call him Rayan for now. Rayan was telling them a story about how some people went over the blinds or the waist. I'm not 100% sure what that was about, but apparently this girl that went over there and they told the Tinkers one thing. She said that the light bringer or the sight burner, which is considered to be the dark one in their language, he wants to blind the eye of the world or like get rid of the great serpent. So obviously this kind of confirms that the dark one is scared of the eye of the world, whatever that is, because apparently that might be what the dark one fears. So that might be something that destroys the dark one, and it's assumed to either serve Rand, Perrin, or Matt. I'm pretty sure it's only Rand, but that's why the dark one fears them, I'm assuming, because Baal-Zamon said that the eye of the world will not serve you and that you belong to the dark one instead. So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. And also, if you guys look at this thing here, right? So I'm assuming this symbol here is the Wheel of Time, right? And as you guys can see, it's a snake. It's a snake. I don't know what it means, but they also said that they are trying to hunt down the great serpent. So the serpent or the snake kind of resembles the Wheel of Time, right? So does that mean that the Dark One is trying to stop the Wheel of Time or stop the time or whatever pattern that Moraine talks about? Or I have no idea, but I'm so happy that I'm so confused. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm lost. I am completely lost in this, bro. I am so into this right now. Coming back to Rand's point of view, this chapter was so good. So they arrived at the White Bridge, right? And they're like, you know what, let's go to an inn, right? So they went into an inn, right? And they asked the innkeeper, what have we missed? What's been happening around the world so far? And then he was like, pretty much Logain, the false proclaimed dragon, has been captured by the Aes Sedai and he's on his way to Tar Valon right now. And also a crazy man and a murderer has been looking for 3 people. And bro, when he was like, and he also mentioned that there was a glee man with them with white hair, and then he looked at Thom and I was like, no way. But of course nothing happened, which was good. Anyway, after Thom told them they were looking for 3 people, and when he described them, the innkeeper was like, you know what, you guys better get the hell out of this town, because some evil people are also looking for them, so you might as well leave ASAP. And then a sailor from the ship who has been kicked out, called Gelb, he just hates those 3 in general, right? So he was just spreading rumors about them being dark friends, and he was in the inn at the same time. So Thom was like, we need to get out of here ASAP before the innkeeper actually puts all the puzzles together to figure out that it's actually us. So while they were leaving, a murderer comes into town, and I was like, bro, these guys are actually not safe anywhere. Then something very shocking happened. Thom, he decided to tackle the murderer so he can give Rand and Matt some time to run for Camelin, so they could hope to find the others. But what happened to Thom? Like, obviously he cannot fight off against a murderer 1v1. Something must have happened. And we also know that Moiraine and Lan was not there, because they are the only one that can actually take on a murderer, and we know that Thom is not a skilled swordsman. He cannot fight a murderer. So is he dead? Actually, no, wait. Min, remember Min? I told you she was gonna be important. Min said Thom was a part of something. Let me just look it up real quick. Okay, so Min said the strongest images around the Gleeman are a man, not him, juggling fire, and the White Tower. And that doesn't make any sense at all for a man. So a man that's not him, juggling fire and a White Tower. And I think in one of Rand's dream, he was in Tar Valon and there was a White Tower. What in the world could that mean? And a man juggling with fire? You know what? We will leave Thom in the prediction part, because I just thought of something. We will leave him in the predictions part. Now we have a dream of Perrin, and this time Ba-al-Zaman was in the dream. Now first he was being guarded by one of the wolves, and Ba-al-Zaman easily destroyed the wolf. And then he mentioned the Eye of the World again. He was like, the Eye of the World will consume you, not serve you, it will consume you. I wonder if that's a difference between Rand and Perrin. I'm not sure. Then a raven came out of nowhere and took one of Perrin's eyes out, and that's when he woke up. This Ba-al-Zaman guy is such a threat, but he's a pretty good villain. Ba-al-Zaman so far has been a terrific villain. I love him so much as a villain. Obviously not as a character. I despise that guy. This guy's torturing our characters, but he's a well-written villain. And when Perrin eventually woke up, Elias also knew what he had dreamt about, or just felt some sort of danger. And here's my prediction with that. I think he kind of was there with the wolf. See how the wolf was in the dream? I think Elias was also kind of connected with the wolf inside the dream, so he kind of knew what was happening inside of his dream, right? So Elias straight away knew the danger, so he's like, let's leave this place ASAP. And not only Elias, this Rian guy, right? He was looking at the sky, like he could tell something was off with the sky as well. He's like, you know what, you guys should leave as well. Something bad is coming. There was just so much tension that they had to leave very, very quickly. And one more thing before we leave this point of view, right? I hate Aram and Egwene together, dancing together, and how Aram gave her that blue bead. Like, why Egwene? Why? Just why? Anyways, let's move on. Back to Nynaeve's point of view, they literally just arrived at the White Bridge, and it's been like 1 or 2 days since Matt and Rand had left. Oh man, they're just so unlucky with timing, man. Anyway, they started to analyze the whole town, and clearly there has been some bad things happening, which obviously a murderer had come. But everyone seems to be very cautious in telling Moiraine what actually happened. Like, everyone's been telling them different stories of what's happening. So what? Like, is the whole town's dark friends or something? And one part also, Nynaeve was feeling some sort of power within us, like she could sense something. I think she kind of is edging towards the one power more and more, even though she is constantly telling herself how much she hates the Aes Sedai, how much she hates the one power, how much she hates Tar Valon, how she never wants to go there, and how Moiraine would never turn her into an Aes Sedai. So that's interesting, but Moiraine clearly said that you are capable in becoming an Aes Sedai. There's also one funny part where Nynaeve was like super pissed off. She was like yelling and stuff like that, and then Moiraine calmly says, while we also train you to become an Aes Sedai, we will also train you to control your tempo. That was funny. That was good. That was too good. Anyway, they decide to go for Camelin, where they hope to find the rest of the crew, right? And back to Perrin's point of view. Now, these chapters were tension packed. Like, god damn, bro, danger just never leaves them. So they were just running constantly. After every hill they had to peek out. And then a bunch of crows or ravens came out of a tree and attacked a fox and just left nothing but fur. Like, these birds just kept on multiplying as they went on and on. And to make it worse, the wolves were like, you know what, you've got some birds behind you guys as well, so you guys better pick up the pace, you know what I mean? And then Elias was like, keep running, I know a place where these birds will not come, so let's keep going, let's keep going. And then Perrin, the whole time he was thinking to himself, can I protect Egwene? Like, would I even let Egwene suffer that fate? I might as well just chop her head off with my own axe. Like, that would give her a better death. And shit, that's some dark stuff, do you know what I mean? That's very dark. Like, I feel bad for Perrin. Like, I would not want to be in his situation. So that's kind of crazy, man. And then they finally got to the safe place called the Shedding, where Elias gave the story of Arthur Hawkins, where I think he was like a king that hated the Aes Sedai or whatever. However, he was like good to his people, only to his people. But if anyone claimed to challenge him, then he was very bad and so on. But he specifically hated the One Power and the Aes Sedai in specific. That's why he chose the Shedding place to be his new town. But he died. That's why there was a massive statue, and that's where they camped, and that's it. See, with these stories, I don't have much to say because I feel like I don't know enough yet to talk about them. Just like with the people of Manetheren, I think that's how you said. I can't say much about the history of, you know, these stories, so I'll leave it at that. However, upon more rereads and more reads throughout the whole story, I'm sure I will learn more, so hopefully we can get back to this later. And of course, the Shedding might be a safe place from the Dark Friends or the Dark One's creatures, but you still have those annoying Children of Light guys. Like, god damn, bro, these guys are not safe from anything. It's like good is bad, bad is bad, everything is just bad, and everything's just after them, do you know what I mean? So once the Children of Light are noticed by the wolves, which is connected with Elias and Perrin, Elias was like, just hide somewhere, you know, you have to hide, while me and the wolves try to take care of some of the stuff happening, right? While they were hiding under Arthur Hawkins' hand, because it was just a massive piece of a statue, right? They were able to hide under it. Perrin was aware of the wolves attacking the Children of Light and so on, and then one or two found where they are, and he was like, you know what, come out within a minute, if you don't, we'll kill you. So Perrin was like, you know what, we have to kind of go or we'll just get killed. So they decided to surrender. However, oh my god, this part was actually quite sad, man. Perrin immediately knew that a wolf was coming to defend them. A wolf called Hopper. Hopper came and literally killed that White Cloak, and Hopper was like, run, get out of here while I defend you. And while he was about to leap on someone else, a spear rammed through Hopper, and then another one rammed through him, and he was dead, man. And that pissed Perrin off, bro. Perrin got his axe and he literally attacked and he went blank. But damn, bro, Hopper, bro, we even got like a tiny backstory of Hopper. It was like very short. He was like a cub. He always looked up at the eagles and he wanted to fly with them, but dead, man. He just dead. He's dead now. God damn, that was, I hate the Children of Light so much. God damn. And then Perrin woke up to this Lord Captain of the White Cloak thingy guy who's kind of old with grey hair, and also Bernhold. Did we meet this guy in Berlin? I don't know if we did. Let me know, but no spoilers, but let me know if this is the same Bernhold from Berlin. Anyway, they were being accused of being Dark Friends because according to the Children of Light, right, wolves are creatures of the Dark One, which they're clearly not, but that's what they think, and they like, you guys were with wolves, so you guys must be Dark Friends. And then Perrin told them a lie, which was a true story but also a lie at the same time. He told them everything. He mentioned about Shader Logoth, he mentioned about Trollocs, Murdrolls, Awarda, and according to the Children of Light, wolves are dark creatures, and warders, they are slaves to the witches, which are the Aes Sedai, and who are also you know, connected to the Dark One. And also Shader Logoth, not many people know about the name except for Dark Friends themselves, so they are in a situation. But then the captain was like to Egwene, you in one hand, you can come out of the shadow into the light. Since you are so young, we will try to, you know, accept you into the light. However, for Perrin, you killed 2 of our men. Now this probably happened when he attacked the Whitecloakes with his axe. He killed 2 people. Anyway, then he's like, you must die inside a gibbet. Now I never knew what a gibbet was, so I googled it, and the images I saw was horrifying. Like, it's worse, it's horrible, like god damn, bro. And then they are also on their way to Camelin and Amador. I'm not sure about Amador, but they're on their way to Camelin. But god damn, bro, these sets of chapters were so tense. I never for once left the book while I was reading. Like, I was so connected to the book, so invested, so much tension was happening, so much wow. Okay, let's just move on to the prediction straight away, right? So since I'm bored, right, I downloaded the audiobook and I decided to start all over again. And while I was listening to the prologue, it mentioned that there is a prophecy that the dragon will be reborn in like a mountain or something like that, right? And Rand's father was murmuring he found a child somewhere, and he was like, oh, Rand might be a good name for you. So I'm telling you, I think I have this part correct. I think Rand is going to be the dragon. It just connects with me so far. Before I was like, maybe, probably not, but now I'm pretty confident that Rand is going to be the dragon, because he said the dragon is reborn somewhere far away that's not Emond's field, and Tam found a baby that's not his or his wife's, and they decided to call it Rand according to his fever or murmur. I'm not sure which is true, but I think it is true. So Rand is the dragon. That is what I think. And if he is the dragon, that means he has access to the one power, and that also means that the Red Ager will be hunting down Rand. So that means that the Aes Sedai are not completely on our side. That means Moraine is wait, is the Ager the Aes Sedai? My bad. I'm not sure if they are the Aes Sedai. Anyway, so Moraine's protecting Rand, right, from the Red Ager. So the Red Ager, if Rand is a dragon, is hunting down Rand, but I'm not sure if they know or not, which is, wow. You know, one part I'm really interested to get to is once we get to Tar Valon, everything is going to go off, man. Tar Valon is going to be lit. Like, I cannot wait to get to Tar Valon. We're going to learn about the Agers, we're going to learn about the Aes Sedai, we're going to learn about the Emerald Seats. Woo, man, that arc looks sick, man. Can't wait to get to that part. Now, the next one is with Thom. I don't think Thom's dead, because Min, I don't know, I feel like Min is just so important for what she said back in Berlin. Min was like, I see a man that's not him juggling with fire and the White Tower, and I'm assuming the White Tower is in Tar Valon. So this is what I think. While he was fighting or distracting the murderer, right, I think another Aes Sedai came, or maybe an Ager came, and the Ager or the Aes Sedai, right, they were helping Thom out, and then they took Thom to Tar Valon. So pretty much Rand and Mat, they think that Thom is dead, and once they all eventually meet up, they will tell them that Thom's dead, and once they all go to Tar Valon, they will see Thom still alive, cause he just cannot die when Min just gave all these crazy stuff. I'm not sure about the man juggling with fire. I'm not sure about that part, right? But I think that Thom is associated with the Aes Sedai or the Agers or Tar Valon in specific, because he also gave them a backstory of his son, how his son was taken by the Aes Sedai, I think, for wielding, was it the Aes Sedai or the Red Ager? I'm not sure, but they took his son, I think, for wielding the power or something like that. I'm not sure if it's a power, but just they took his son for some reason. And then they can't just kill him off like that. There has to be more to that. I'm sure there has to be more to that. Because you guys keep telling me, the Wheel of Time, you have to think big. Everything happens for a reason. Do you know what I mean? So he cannot die. Because, like I said, I see that chapter with Min so crucial to future events. That's just my prediction. Don't tell me if they are correct. I want to find out by my own, but boy, am I so excited with this series. I'm so impressed. I'm only 2/3 into the book and I'm so invested. Wow, man, wow. Anyway, I think this video has been long enough. My apologies for making this video long. But wow, I'm actually so happy that I started this book, and I want to thank all of you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, I would have never ever started this book, probably this whole year or maybe next year, you never know, man. But because of all of you guys, I actually started this book. So once again, I thank you, all of my Wheel of Time subscribers and viewers. I thank you humbly. I am so happy to be a part of this. Like, wow. And I also have one more question. I'm assuming most of you guys are readers, right? So I have this problem, right? So once I start reading, I never stop reading, but the problem is to get started in the first place. Like I always tell myself, oh, okay, I'm gonna read at 2 p.m. But then once I go on my phone, I'm on my phone for like 2 hours, and then I read like at night time, which is kind of inconvenient. So can you guys drop down some tips on how to organize a time for specifically reading? And hopefully I can take those tips into my own life and have like a better reading experience, because I feel like I really need it, because I'm still new to reading, right? I just can't find a proper time for reading. So let me know what you guys do when you guys are fully focused into just reading, because I know once I get started I'm invested, but the problem is to get started. So let me know what you guys do. I'm very interested to find out. And thank you so much for liking and commenting on my videos. The engagement has been so good, because I don't know if you guys know this, likes and comments, they help the channel grow so much. And wow, the engagement, like I said, it's been the best. I could have never imagined the channel growing like this. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I truly do. And that's going to be it for this week. Thank you again. I think I said thank you so many times, guys. I really do appreciate you guys. So thank you again. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a big like. Comment down your thoughts below. And if you still are not subscribed yet, you are definitely a dark friend. Definitely. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care now. Bye.